Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. Everything in this video can be found on a public domain. The full disclaimer is down below. Lots of love and many blessings your way. Something really strange is going on. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but there's a couple of things. We'll talk about the second one in a minute, but really fast. Have you noticed Meghan's gone kind of MIA? I noticed she wasn't right there with Harry when he made his appearance on the dancing competition to, encourage his buddy JJ. And they know each other through the Invictus Games. JJ was injured in a bomb blast during his tour in 2011 in Afghanistan. And through all of that, Harry and JJ became very close. As a matter of fact, do you guys remember right after they got married, all of Harry's friends started popping out into the media talking about how worried they were for him? JJ was one of those voices. He was one of those friends that came out saying, I'm worried about Harry. He's not the same. And the implication behind that was Meghan was the problem. And for that reason, it could have totally been why Meghan wasn't sitting next to Harry on the couch, giving him encouragement. She might just be holding a grudge. What I found most offensive about the entire situation was this. They totally used JJ. I don't know if he's aware of it, but they did. They're so desperate to clean up what they've done. I spoke to the guy personally over the phone at the cemetery. He told me they came and they went. That was it. And I've had thousands of complaints ever since. That was a huge mistake on their end. And it bugs me because they're using these people just to better their image. That's all. They did to JJ just as they did to the fella they wrote the letter to, the 3 lines. Folks have caught on. They've noticed every bit of this. But something else folks have noticed too is this. Everybody's talking about the mood Harry was in. He was upbeat and jovial. He was encouraging and laughing. He was having a good time with the situation. He wasn't somber and depressed. He wasn't miserable. And he wasn't with Meghan. Everybody has noticed the difference. And here we go again. There's Harry out in Compton volunteering with the Operation Nourish program, packing and distributing food to the community. He shows up in a pair of old faded jeans, some sneakers, an old polo shirt, and a ball cap, looking very average, low key. I feel so much better about this situation had all of the cemetery nonsense never happened. You know what I'm saying? By him showing up in the faded jeans, the sneakers, the ball cap, that whole look just lets me know that this is just a movie set for them. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she has some top-of-the-line PR people. He feels really out of place, you can tell, super uncomfortable. His eyes aren't smiling. He's just not really wanting to be there. And by him showing up looking super average, super basic, who called the paparazzi for these pictures? Did Meghan? Does she feel like this is just a Harry issue that needs to be cleaned up? Because as I remember, she was there in the cemetery with him. It was her idea. She even picked flowers from her own garden to bring to this cemetery shoot. It wasn't a genuine move on their end. Harry being at the VFW blocks from Doria's house, it just didn't feel genuine to me. It feels real raunchy, actually. You know, y'all, because I've always been the kind of person to sit back in the corner and observe. Believe it or not, I'm not much of a talker. Really, I'm not. Just by looking at the pictures, man, I can tell that Harry's really stiff. He's really angry, low-key, somewhere inside, resentful that Meghan's not there with him. We all know this was forced. It wasn't chosen. Hey, speaking of chosen, listen to this. Lauren Bush, Lauren, yes, that's her name. She married a fellow with the last name Lauren. Talk about serendipitous. You know what I mean? I love that. I really do. I always have. But let's get on with it. She just so happens to be George Bush's granddaughter, an ex-fashion model, and now a designer, and she has a campaign that gives back. It's super cool. Let's see. She's related to the Bush family. She's a designer. She does good things. She knows everybody in the business. She's Meghan's dream come true. That glittering stepping stone that Meghan just can't reach. Lauren Bush designed this line called Feed. And it's purses and necklaces, all sorts of bits and pieces that are really neat if I could afford them, but nuh-uh. Anyway, it gives back. She's fed 300,000 plus children all over the world just with this line alone. So what Lauren did was she got all the celebrities that she knew were total humanitarians and invited them in on this campaign, such as Pierce Bronson and his children, Martha Stewart, Nick Jonas and his wife, who happens to be a quote-unquote close friend with Meghan. I heard a while back they had a fallout. She's one of many. I'm not even going to try to say her name. I mess it up every time. But all of these celebrities and A-listers who happen to be humanitarians and philanthropists got together and they started modeling these, bags and pieces of jewelry from the feed line. It's Lauren Bush's new campaign. Now, this comes from my buddy Jay, and he's a pretty reliable source. I'm not saying it's fact or fiction. I'm just saying it was told to me. He dug around and found out this reason as to why Meghan and Harry were not invited to be involved. After all, they're huge humanitarians, and they are stateside. Jay told me that nobody in Hollywood wants anything to do with Harry and Meghan, other than Netflix, of course. They have a stigma attached to them. They're nothing but negativity and drama, and nobody wants to deal with it but Netflix. And Netflix wants them to be so hard up and desperate, which they are, that they'll start singing like little canaries and spill every bit of everything they know. And they'll end up doing it. They brought it on themselves, truly. So I received a phone call yesterday morning from my buddy Miss D, who lives in England, and she told me the word on the street is the Queen asked Harry and Meghan for custody of Archie. The Queen wants Archie to have the same chances the other grandchildren have had. Proper education, to learn the royal protocol and traditions. She thinks he would be better off in the family. You and I both know that'll never happen. That's their golden goose. That's their ace in the hole. They're going to whip him out when they're at their most desperate. Watch and see. Speaking of watching, do you find anything weird about this picture? I was flipping through them this morning, and this one just caught my eye. From a distance, it really appears there's a loving Meghan cheering her husband on. But up close and personal, she's smiling for the cameras. She makes direct contact with the lens. This picture to me tells me everything I need to know as to who Meghan really is. Have you guys noticed something weird in the media lately? They've been calling Camilla Parker Bowles Queen Camilla a lot. Now, you and I both know she's not going to be deemed the queen, but are they trying to put into everybody's heads that Charles has already taken the throne as king? There's a reason this is going on, and we're going to talk about that in my very next video. I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all the support, love, and encouragement that I've received from everybody in the last couple of days especially. I was really shocked and surprised when I was contacted by a few of Meghan's fans. They were super kind and very encouraging and so supportive. And you know what? They were mature enough to say, hey, I don't like what you do, but we like you. Just like I said, I don't like who you support, but I like you. It is what it is. I just felt I needed to share that with you guys. Anyway, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I appreciate each and every one of you. You're nothing but a blessing in my life. I'll see you soon and we'll talk fast. Please stay safe and be blessed.